what's up, everyone? Good morning. I'm Iago here today with Jake and Mike. I'm Iago, black belt from Charlotte. Mike is a blue belt, and Jake is a white belt, one stripe advances. so both was my old student in Minnesota before I got moved to Charlotte. So we're gonna talk a little bit about your friendship. Okay, guys. So, Mike, tell me a little bit about you. What you did before jiu-jitsu, and what are you doing right now too.
Yeah. So my name is Mike Bone. I'm from Lakeville, Minnesota. I trained Rio Jitsu, GFT affiliate here in Minnesota. And typically my day job would be I deal with federal laws that relates to shipping hazardous materials, and was introduced to jiu-jitsu about 5 years ago in the business park that I worked at.
Nice, Jake. Your turn.
Yeah, so I also live in Lakeville, Minnesota. Mike and I are neighbors up here, the Great White North. And I got introduced to jiu-jitsu about a year ago from Mike. And when you were living with Mike, Thiago, that was the first time that I was introduced to it, and been obsessed with it ever since. My day job is in finance. So jiu-jitsu is a great complement to that because you can take out some of that aggression that you have from your day job and take it out in your training with jiu-jitsu. So it's awesome.
So, you guys practice any kind of sport before jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, so I was in the military for 8 years, and I did a lot of physical training in the military. I wasn't really I didn't play a bunch of sports in high school. Had kind of a rough childhood, and so really sports didn't fit into our schedule. But I did it, as a teenager. I practiced a Korean martial art called Kuk Soo Won for about 2 years, and that was fun. But I really didn't take it seriously. I just went with some friends. We had a really serious instructor in Wilmington, Delaware. That's where I was living at the time, and was involved in a few different aspects of martial arts through the military, and even out. But most recently, American boxing a little bit when we lived in New Jersey, and jiu-jitsu started when we lived in Florida 5 years ago.
Cool. Nice. Jake.
Yeah, so my background with athletics is I was a hockey player for a large part of my life. First 28 years I spent doing that. I was able to play college and a little bit of pro hockey, and if I would have been introduced to jiu-jitsu when I was playing, it would have been total game changer for me, especially in my professional career where I had to do some fighting. It would have been awesome to have some of the basic skill of jiu-jitsu, but everything happens for a reason, and we're here now, and excited to continue on my journey with jiu-jitsu.
Nice. Cool, guys. Cool. So guys, how BJJ is coming to you guys' life? No.
Yeah, so like I was saying, 5 years ago, Iago, and you know the story obviously, but I was in a business park in St. Augustine, Florida, and the condo that we were in, we had an empty condo next to us, and a guy from Las Vegas had recently moved in. His name was Larry Glines, and he brought a Zenith school, Robert Drysdale School, to St. Augustine Beach. And I remember he'd walked over to my business office and had invited me over for a class. And I actually was his very first student to sign up for his school when he opened up. And literally, I enjoyed it, but I really didn't know what I was getting myself into when I had started. So I didn't have an appreciation for jiu-jitsu like I do today. But he had a love for it that was contagious for sure. So that was my introduction. I mean, obviously, I watched UFC probably like everyone else had watched.
Everyone.
What's that?
Everyone.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone watched UFC, and I loved watching UFC, but I didn't really realize and understand how much jiu-jitsu influenced UFC at the very beginning of getting involved with it.
go ahead, Jake.
For me, it was like I said about a year ago. I never thought about any martial arts in my life up until that point. I just never had any friends or anybody in my life that had ever done it. And, Mike and I became really close friends about 2-3 years ago, and I knew he was doing jiu-jitsu, but still wasn't really something that I thought was of interest to me until one day he just simply asked me like, "Hey man, just come check it out. I got this guy Iago living with me now. Just picked him up from Ohio, and just come and do a private lesson and see what you think." And so from 1 hour training session in Mike's basement with you guys, and that's kind of where it started. But the appreciation for the sport and the craft, I mean, it just grows every time we get up to train.
Nice. So yeah, it's good to hear this because when it was talk to Mike, I was like in Toledo, and we talk a lot because I was thinking about to go back to Minnesota again, but I don't know how, and then I don't know when. And then we talk a lot, Mike. So when he said, "No, I will travel to do the BJJ camp," and then he like say, "You can come back with me if you want, and then you can stay in my house." That's the like after that day, me and Michael was practicing like private lessons in Minnesota before I moved because I was before I moved to Ohio, right? For I was teaching jiu-jitsu like fundamentals class, and then I remember that day when Mike is coming in to practice the fundamentals class, he was a white belt for a shred. And then I always like to tell everyone this story. I was like, I don't know if this guy gonna like me because I push him so much because he's doing something wrong, like in the basic jiu-jitsu, like fundamentals jiu-jitsu. Like I was teaching like armbar from close guard, and then he's cross his feet all the time. And then all the time I say, "Bro, stop cross your feet." So I would say, man, I always feel so bad because I'm thinking like I'm so mean to him. You know what I mean? Like just pushing himself. But everybody doing like they're not doing great, but everybody doing right. And then only hear like four stripes. You say, this guy gonna love me or gonna hate me forever. You know what I mean? Like, and then we become like really close friend. And then he's coming like he become like my life like very special person. And then I remember like before I compete world no, last year, yeah, last year. So Zan and João told me, "Hey, we're gonna do the belt promotion here. You want to enjoy us?" I say, "Yeah, of course." And then I flew to Minnesota, and then Zan and João let me give his blue belt. So that day was like very special for me. So and then after that we become like more close, and then I go back to Ohio again, and then I was like in bad spot, and then I was talk to Mike, and then he helped me to go back to Minnesota, and then I'm so like happy to have his like as a as a as a friend, as a student, as a like a dad, right? Like he's been like helpful for me a lot, you know. He's a very special person for me. So and then eventually I meet you, and then I have you like as a friend too. Like that's the really important for me as a sport, as a jiu-jitsu sport, because we don't only like fight. You make a friend all over the world. So that's really good for me. You know, I go to any kind of like place. I make a friend. I move it to here. Like people's like hugging me, so like making me feel like home. You know what I mean? So That's jiu-jitsu. I mean, like, I make a friend all over the world. So it's good, guys. You guys are very special for me. And then let's talk about like our challenge and then back to the day, right? You want to say something, Mike?
About what was the question?
You want to say something?
What about what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember the day that you yelled at me for having my feet crossed, obviously from the for the armbar drills. And it was like, and I think when we had talked about this, I mentioned this to you that that's what I appreciated was because I had picked up some bad habits, obviously, early on, and it was just lack of practice, lack of execution, and I typically learn things the hard way. So for you to say don't cross your feet, I need to know what happens when you cross your feet, and when you inflict pain upon me, I learn. And so so once I understand that, it's easy to not to do those bad habits. But I think I really appreciated and still appreciate to this day, because we train a lot together, is that the discipline of paying attention to the minor details in the game and in technique go a long way. So it's like if you can kind of clean up the little things, the bigger game will get better. And so I really enjoyed that aspect of the way that you teach, Thiago. And I don't think I ever got mad at you. I think I was more frustrated with myself.
I don't know. I don't know. That back that day, I was like thinking, oh my god, I think I'm not being like be a good teacher for him. So, but anyways, I was like really good time, like spend time in Minnesota and meet all these people. I love Minnesota, so it's my second home for sure here. And I have like Mike as my family, so now I have a house to stay. Become my family. Jake too. I remember that Jake just like started training for me, and then he take care of me, like bringing me to I forget the guy's name. Uh,
Nate.
the doctor. No.
Oh,
The
Dr.
doctor.
James. Dr.
Yeah.
James. Yeah.
This guy amazing, bro. This is so good.
Yeah.
He's a chiropractor, right?
Yeah.
He's just so good, man.
Finish line chiropractic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the best. He
Mm-hmm.
he keeps our bodies right so we can train hard.
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So guys, so everybody when they start jiu-jitsu, they have like all this overcome in your mind because like it's in the beginning like it's so confused because it's so much information for your mind. But how's your guys' big challenge like in the beginning? Like obviously like for Jake is still in the beginning.
Yeah.
For Mikey too as a blue belt, it's just the beginning, but I have something like was like push you so much.
Yeah. I think
So
my biggest challenge, Thiago, was just patience in the game, where I couldn't rely on strength or physical ability necessarily. I couldn't let that define my game. And I remember people saying to me, "Man, you're so strong," and I thought that was a compliment early on in jiu-jitsu. But then I realized, man, that's such a bad compliment because I wanted to be known for my technique, not the fact that I could wrestle my way off of out of a bad place. Although that does play into the game a little bit. But I really I think early on trying to use strength so much and not really being patient to let the game develop and to kind of pace myself in the roles or the tournaments that we competed in. So yeah, I think that was my biggest challenge. And also like early on in martial arts, with some of the other arts, it's about remembering 100 different moves. And with jiu-jitsu, it's not necessarily remembering all these different moves as much as it is and remembering the fundamentals and then starting to develop and expand those fundamentals, like you've taught me.
Yeah, I remember when we was doing like just training your basement or private.
Yeah.
And then I say, bro, relax, bro. You were like so
Ten.
yeah, exactly. That's the it was it, bro. Relax. Let's practice the move. You know what I mean? And then it was okay, and then we restart again. So that's fun to tell, but because we have like so many progress like for the back today for now.
Yeah.
Last time we trained here is so much better, bro. Last time we compete IBJJF Twin Cities, we're gonna talk about this. It was bro. It was like I was so proud to see you fight like that. You know, it's a challenge too. It was like so good. You know, we lost, but so close. You know what I mean? So close. So, Jake, go ahead. Sorry. How's your big challenge in jiu-jitsu?
I think for me, starting
You
up,
have so much. You have so much is coming. Don't
yeah,
worry.
I think right away and still a little bit right now. I think what's a challenge for me sometimes is like not feeling like I'm good at something, and I just want to be good at it right now.
Yeah.
It's like I think about going back to my hockey career. It's like I did that for 28 years, and I still wasn't at the top of that sport. And so for me to think that in 10 private lessons with you, I'm going to be it just is silly way to think, but it's just the way that I think about everything is I just want to learn it and be good at it. So that was my biggest challenge, was just to relax and just to take it all, learn from everybody that I was training with, not have any expectation of what the outcomes were going to be. If I got tapped out 5 times or if I got tapped out 0, it doesn't really matter. It's more about just letting the progression happen organically. That was for sure the biggest challenge for me right away.
Iago, it's funny. We were training with Matt. Matt from Rio, black belt, and I think I saw Jake's face when he said this. Matt's like, he's a black belt, and he says, "Man, I still have so much to learn. I feel like I just don't know anything." I just saw Jake's face, like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah.
Like, am I even saying this in 10 years that I still have so much to learn? And it's so true. It's so true.
Me too. I
Yeah.
trained for 11 years. I still have so much to learn into.
Yeah.
I think when you got your black belt and you like thinking about, say, man, I still have so much to learn because I'm not thinking very good enough. But
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu is like forever progress, man. Forever. You're gonna learn it forever.
Right.
You're gonna be like black belt like for sure, and then you're still gonna learn the new moves because jiu-jitsu is progress every single day, every single year. The jiu-jitsu, the 2000, let's say like 5, is not the same in 2015.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? It's not the same. So every year, people create a new guard. People create a new pass. People create, I don't know, a lot of stuff. So the jiu-jitsu is always in progress. So that's the thing I like to do jiu-jitsu too, because I always making me keep pushing myself to learn more. So that's I like to practice. I was training for sweating here, and then she played lasso guard, like warm guard, a lot. So that's my biggest like challenge for me, because how to get out there. If you can't get out, it's not like I'm not say like because she's a woman, because man, if I can't get out of her lasso, she's like have like 154 pounds.
Yeah.
I never gonna get out to the guys who have like 168 or 181 is my way right now.
Yep.
Not right now, because right now is so much heavy. But but how I can get out? The guys have the same, probably like same strong as me, but probably more.
Yeah.
Like I need to figure out how to get out of that position. Sometimes I'm mad at myself because I need to know, you know. But that thing is good. So so let's go to talk about like this. So when I meet Jake, I think we did like couple private lessons. I think like probably 5. And then me and Mike, I was like doing like a camp for 2 tournaments. Like Charlotte, we set up for Charlotte and Twin Cities. So, and then I was talking to Zé and João. We need to put more people because we're gonna fight for the trophy.
Yeah.
To one like for the team. Because Alas and I think is Pedro Sowers, I have like double people than us.
Yeah.
So I say, man, we need to put like more people, need to put more people. And then I say, man, Jake, for sure is gonna make it 1 point for us, for sure, for sure. This guy can lose, because look, when I first time I teach Jake in Mike basement, I say, man, this guy's a beast. This guy's an animal. How much away now, Jake?
Like 245.
245. I was, man, I was thinking like, man, this guy's a beast. This guy's already like practicing, already like was a professional hockey player, so he know how what the game, he know how what the feeling before I like go to the game. So, and then Mikey like me and Michael was start to watch his video, Google, and then put like Jake Tyler fight, and then I would say, dude, this guy's a monster, bro. He got 2 knocked down. And then you say, man, he's not gonna lose in the tournament for sure. Not, man. It's only 5 minutes. He play like how long do the game play? Game hockey.
60 minutes.
So he's not gonna lose in like 5 minutes, bro. Come on, it's only 5 minute match. He's not gonna lose it for no one that tournament, man. And then we started to train for the tournament. We did like probably like 10 lessons before the tournament. He never did before jiu-jitsu before. So I was like really good time. And then at the same time, I was so much pressure in my back because I was saying like, if this guy dying on a mat, it's gonna be my fault. he's gonna fight. Also, I have his people like probably have people bigger than him. And then I don't know, man. I don't know. And then I saw his step on the mat. I saw the guy. So it was a huge guy. Jake is a huge. Jake is like 6'4", Jake?
Yeah, 6'4".
6'4". Jake is a huge. And then the guys are like probably like same size, a little tall, but he's a fat guy. Say, man, if this guy landed on top of Jake, it's gonna be so bad. And then the fight started, and then the guys are like, Jake tried to take him down, and then the guys land on top of Jake and say, oh my God. I would say, man, the guy's gonna die for sure. So like he's enough. It's 10 classes. 10 classes enough for like to learn jiu-jitsu and go to the like IBJJF is a good tournament, man. It's the biggest tournament right now. So then he's like the guys landing on top of him, and he swept the guys in mouth. And then I remember me and Mike like just say, don't move anymore, stay there. And then they're like, and then I was in my mind like, we made it. Like almost like 1 minute left, and then like me and Mike like so happy outside. And I was a pretty good day because we set up the goal together, and then made the goal together. I got goal. So I think it's 2 weeks before or 1 week, me and Mike lost in the Charlotte Open, set up the goal for Charlotte too. We lost. I lost by half a decision, really close. Mike lost.
We lost. We won one and lost the last one, right? By
yeah, before the Twin Cities. So Mike lost like in the semifinal by 2 points. So I was really close tournament, and it's good for us because we can like have time to fix the mistake, and then to go to the Twin Cities. So I was really happy to the result overall. We 3 got gold. And then I remember the day we hugged it together. And then I have that picture in my gym here, like the 3 got gold. So it was a very, very special day for me, man. I really appreciate that moment for my life, you know. That's that thing I wanna like to my career. I wanted to leave this for my family, you know. Like I have my niece, my nephew, they both practice jiu-jitsu. So I want to he's living by my example, you know what I mean? We talk about this all the time. So that's the thing I want to leave to them, you know. So it's a very special day. I got like a little emotional. Remember that day, man. It was a pretty good day, man. Pretty good day.
It was a great day.
Yeah.
The
So
best part too with my match is once I did get the mount and I had the pressure. It was awesome because you guys were telling me just to lay there, but the other part of it was I didn't know what else to do. So, I was glad you didn't say like go for his arm or do. I would have had no clue what
man,
to do from there.
I don't think I never see people doing this. Put the one student like just have like 10 classes to compete at BJJF tournament. You can put like the guys to compete like local tournament. That's fine. But IJJF I think is different. It's a way different tournament. You know.
That's when you guys gave me the advanced white belt.
Exactly. I was man, it's a good day.
Yeah.
Great day.
And Mike, want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, again, I loved, yeah, that day was an awesome day. I think for a few reasons, because Jake and you were there obviously, but Jake and I both had our sons there as well. And Caleb, Caleb's been practicing jiu-jitsu now as long as I have, and it's like just to have him be a part of that and to see a team come together. It's like it's not obviously we have our individual gifts, right, and strengths, but I remember my match. It was the fact I was listening to you, Iago. It's like I knew that I had to execute certain things, but there were things that you were seeing that I wasn't seeing, and you saw the time. You were more cognizant of the time, knowing that I was probably just in the moment. But I think that's what's awesome is to have the team together, encouraging one another, and whether there is no loss, right? We always just learn from whatever event
The
that we're in,
situation.
yeah, whatever situation, and
Mhm.
and even to be able to lift each other up in those times that where we don't have success. It's like, hey, we're going to build upon that, and next time execute better. So yeah, that was a fun day for sure, and I have that same picture, man, of all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's probably going to be one of my best memories in jiu-jitsu for sure.
yeah, I'm so happy, bro. That day was like special, like
Yeah.
really special for me. The thing I like to I appreciate a lot, you know. So I think like I feel this. I feel a lot this when I have Zed in my corner outside, man, I feel safer to do anything,
Yeah.
because when you fight, jiu-jitsu is like is only you inside that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you anything outside, but you need to feel, you need to feel like I'm comfortable to do that. You need to ask yourself sometime about this, but it's a quick. You can't take it too long. If you think it too much, the guys already did something, so you already lost the position there.
Yeah.
So when I have Zell, when Zell on my corner, so I feel like so comfortable. I can do anything, anything. And then that day when it was a fight, so I appreciate when you fight and you try to listen to me. Whatever if the thing you want to say you're gonna make it working for you or not, you was try to listen to me. That's the really important. You need to connect. You have to connection with your coach. You know what I mean? Because if not, it's gonna be there just by yourself. You can do whatever you want. I fight a lot of time like by myself. No coach outside. And then it's not bad. sometimes it's good for you. You need to like to go by yourself and try your team, you know. But when you have like the coach, that's great, you know. But I feel that I felt that day you did this, you know. I saw you looking to me, you know, try to listen to me, what I also try to say to you, too. So that's really good, man. That's really good. That's good because we see we have the connection. You know what I mean? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the questions again. So um, quick. Now it's quick. Okay, back to back.
All right.
Then you go, Jake. uh, what's your game plan?
Game plan in long term or short term?
Uh, whatever, short term.
Yeah, short term. So game plan short term, obviously.
Right now. Let's go right now.
Yeah, right now. So the game plan is obviously to get back into the community with the rest of our team and back in the gym. You know, we've been meeting in Jake's basement, just drilling and doing some things. But obviously, to be back with the guys in Rio is going to be awesome. But yeah, my short-term game is just to get back. My game is always longevity, not to get hurt, and train smart. So right now, my game, Thiago, it's kind of right. It's modeled after yours, smash and pass. That's my game, bro.
Nice. Okay. So Jake.
Game plan for me is just to take what we've been doing at my house here, obviously when the gym opens up, and then getting back with the whole community. And you know, as far as for me with my skill, I really have found that I really hate being on my back. So working on my guard game is super important for me. Getting out of position when somebody does get me down on my back, of ways to think through it, get out. And then big thing too is protecting my arms. I've had those really caught a lot with getting my arms exposed, overextended or whatever. So those are the two big short-term things I'm working on right now.
Nice. So Mike.
Yep.
Yes. So Mike, like this could be like for long term, for future or not, okay?
Yep.
You have like any goal for tournament in the future?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I was planning to compete in Master Worlds this year, and we don't even know if that's going to happen at this point. So probably not. It's going to be put on the back burner. I am scheduled to go back to the Origin camp in Maine in August. So that still looks like it's on. But at this point, my long-term goal obviously is I would love to be a part of a teaching school at some point in my future. I don't know if that means having my own school in another area, or just I'm helping out with teen class right now at Rio. So I just love teaching. I love hanging out with the kids and being a part of their next part of their journey. I'm an old guy, so I don't know how many tournaments I have in me. So unless it's going to benefit the team, you and I talked about these types of goals. I'm not sure if I'm going to be competing all that much, but I love helping the guys that are competing. I love training with them and kind of being their training partners to help get them ready for their tournament. So yeah, I mean that's my goal. Is not to get injured, to continue developing the game and helping others, get ready for the competitions.
Jake.
For me, I thought when I was going through kind of this year, my goal originally was to get my blue belt this year. But what I've realized training more now is that now kind of shifting away from the ego of the belt or whatever you want to call it, and more into just really becoming a student of the craft. So The big thing for me, my long-term goal is to get at least 3 training sessions in every week, and then just shut my mouth and listen and watch the guys that I'm training with, and just try to really immerse myself in the culture, in the sport, in all of it, and just learn it the proper way, instead of thinking about these goals that at the end of the day don't really matter as much as far as the color of your belt goes, and more just making sure that you're doing it the right way. So that's the big thing for me right now, is just really immersing myself in that. And when I'm with the guys that I'm training with, I mean, it's incredible how much you can learn if you just shut up and just listen and watch. It's a pretty cool thing.
Nice. You got another stripe, my advanced white belt. Just
Yeah.
because you said that. That's the best way. I like that. I like it. The answer, bro. So, Mike.
Yeah.
How you look at your BJJ journey right now? What do you see?
Again, I think the long-term goal is just to develop a game. At this point, I feel like my game is somewhat defined. I know things that I'm comfortable with and things that I'm not comfortable with. On both sides, either the top or the bottom game. But I really want to start to master the fundamentals, and like the details that you've always taught, and Zay and Joel teach, and Chris and the guys back at Rio. I remember, again, being at Rio and trying to remember everything that they teach in class. And I realized it's impossible. And I didn't realize that until I looked around and everyone's going, do you know what he just said? I don't remember that movement until we start drilling it. So I realized that it's not important I have to remember everything. But literally it's about, paying attention to the finer details of whatever game that we're practicing, whether it be, guard passing or establishing a guard, and not, knowing the 20 different variations all at once versus just understanding the fundamentals of why they're important. That's my goal, is to just to really start to hone in on cleaning up the messy parts of the fundamentals.
Nice. Jay.
For me, being a taller guy, I think what I really am focused on with my game plan right now is trying to utilize my long legs and long arms. So, whether that's working spider or whatever it is, that's the big thing for me right now, is try to utilize my strength of being a bigger guy, and learn the fundamentals with that perspective of, my game needs to be my game needs to be strong in those areas where I can use my body to my advantage. So that's the big game plan right now, is just really, like Mike said, just learn the fundamentals really, really well. And with that mindset of, I want to use these to complement my body type.
Nice. So you're almost done. Let's go to two more questions. So, Mike, talk about a little bit like our friendship, man. Like about me and you, like become like really close friend. Like,
Yeah.
I since the beginning. So if you want to say, but quick.
So for me, it's Thiago. It's when I establish a friendship with people, it's like I'm kind of an all-out guy, and I put myself out there, and pretty vulnerable. But I think it was like when we had our first private together, I had realized you were teaching fundamentals, but there was a friendship established, I think, with our just first meeting, because I think we talked a lot more than we did even practicing. And so, and relationships these days, because of the technology and whatnot, can become very superficial, where it's, you meet someone and then you don't talk to them forever, and then you see them, hey, how's it going? you know, and I think with our friendship, and I think even with Jake and I's friendship, and you know, some other guys that I'm close to, it's like you have to work at the relationship, right? And so you and I talk a lot more about non-jujitsu things than we did about jujitsu things. So I think even when you moved to Toledo, you know, it was funny because I had a business tie in Toledo early on in my business career, and the fact that you went there, it kind of drew up some memories there. But I remember going, yeah, you know, I want to keep in touch with Thiago to see how he's doing. And I think it was almost every day that I checked in with you, texted you, or we had a phone call. And then obviously when you moved into our house, you know, it was like, then you became your family,
Uh,
like one of the kids. So it's like we're sharing meals together, you know, we're training together, we're crying together, whatever it was, we're training, like everything just came together. And so, and it's been that way ever since. Even when you moved to Charlotte, you know, it's like I think I've been to Charlotte 3 or 4 times already to come and hang out with you. And it's not because, you know, again, I don't even think the one time I came that we trained any jujitsu. We were getting the school ready to open up. It was, you know, we were eating more than we were training at that point. That's why
yeah,
you're.
yeah. We spending more time to hang out for sure because it
Yeah.
was like working to put the gym ready to reopen to open the gym, and then I think the last day it was here we will hang out, go eat, go to the church, and then
Yeah.
eat, and then it did like a little training session, but not that long. Yeah, man, cool. Jake, good trying, man.
Yeah, I think for me, kind of piggybacking off of what Mike said, it's just what I've learned in my life at this point is it's really important that the people that you become close with, to go and spend tons of time and whatever it takes to make that relationship win-win for both people. And I think what I've learned as my group of close friends has kind of shifted over the past couple of years is you know, with the friendships that I've built with you guys, it's like these are friendships that will last forever. You know, for whenever till God brings us home, it's like these are things that will be, you know, in my life, and your guys that I look to you know, lean on in hard times, and then also, you know, hopefully that's the way you feel about me if I'm always there for you and always supporting you. And you know, I was thinking about this last night. It's the cool thing with having friends like you guys is thinking about, like, if something was ever to happen to me, having males like you guys in my kids' life would be super awesome. You know, it's like that's the kind of people that I think you need to surround yourself with. Is like, if there was ever, you know, a tragedy or something like that, that I know there'd be men in my kids' lives that would take care of them, you know, and bring them up how they're supposed to be. So, you know, so it's a deep connection that I have with you guys, and it's cool that we get to share that, and then also have this connection with jiu-jitsu. It really just makes all that really solid.
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. I think it's the same. You and Mike say everything. I can't say. I just say like we become so close, and then man, now I have your kid number in my phone. Jack's texting me, man. He sent
Yeah,
Marco Polo video for me. Hey, Yago, how are you doing there out there? How's the weather? It's like, man, we become like so close. And your kid, Mike kid, like texting me. I play video game together with him. Then like that's so crazy. Like that's good,
yeah,
man. That's like I love that. You know, I love kids. I love like Michaela, Caleb, Taya, Jax, and your daughter too. I forgot her name. We don't talk a lot, but I talk a lot with Jax. So
yeah.
yeah, man.
Dylan.
So it's good.
It's
She's
more
really
like,
shy. She's like
yeah,
sometimes she texts me sometimes too from your phone. She has your phone, so she texts me sometimes. It's funny, man. So
yeah.
yeah, it was really cool, man. Really
She
cool
likes
having
to
this
geese.
friendship.
She likes to geese, but that's about where her jujitsu ends for now. We'll keep
She's
working on
funny,
her.
man. Yeah, she's funny. So guys, I will ask you this for the last one. Like, I think I will talk to Mike about this. It was a long time ago. It's and he have a longer conversation about this. So why is the private lessons very important to develop your jiu-jitsu skill? Mike can go first because the upper belt to lower belt.
You know, I enjoy privates, Iago. You know, and there's a few reasons why I do them. First of all, because I really appreciate the one-on-one time and the discussions with privates. But when you and I were doing privates, I mean, you were so gracious, and I found this with just about every black belt or purple belt, brown belt that that teaches. That they're very gracious with their time in class. But there's a time where you can monopolize that time because you have to be able to answer other people's questions, and that the private time allows for that non-distraction, with the instructor to ask details. I remember I didn't even know what questions to ask. Like, hey, what do you want to work on? I'm like, I don't know. And I think the benefit of having a private with the people that you train with is because they see your game. They see you practicing, they see you drilling, they see you rolling in class. Versus, I think when I was in Texas, you had mentioned this the other day, and I got a private with Rafael Formiga, and it was different when he was at, hey, what do you want to work on? And he's friends with Zay, so there's a relationship there. And I said, you know what, I'm open to something new. And so, so he was teaching butterfly guard, which I had, I'm not a butterfly guard player, but obviously it needs to be something that I'm familiar with, to either shut it down or to be able to implement it if I'm in a bad way. So I think there's two aspects. One being the benefit of having the people that you train with. If you get a private, I've had privates with Chris, with Zay, and with Joel.
Victor too, man. You have like so many champions in private lessons, man.
So,
Victor's Rafael Formiga is a big champions, man.
Yeah, Peter Oliveira. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Rito, dude. I think Gutenberg and Dante. We're down there, and to be able to train with those guys, it's just there's just so much knowledge. I think what I realize is that this is a long journey, but the private is a chance to really establish that one-on-one relationship with the instructor, and to gain experience, not just the physical experience in understanding technique, but also, like, you taught me so much about the jiu-jitsu history, just how you were introduced to jiu-jitsu and our lineage. Like, I loved learning about our lineage in GFT, with Tulio, and how far back that goes. And so for me, it's like there's more than just the physical aspect. There's also the mental coaching aspect side of it as well. So it's I'd
It's a
say,
perfect point, bro.
yeah, well, I'd say that you can get, it's like this. It's like we invest in our schools, right, on a monthly basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
We sign up, but it's like, if you just want to be I guess a par level jiu-jitsu player, just keep coming to the paid class. But if you really want to up your game and get some insights that you might not get at the school level, man, it's been so beneficial to me, to invest more into the game, whether it be on videos or with the one-on-one privates that I've invested in. And I look at it as an investment, and also it's helping out the instructors, man. You guys don't make a lot of money, let's face it, right? It's like, the schools don't make millions of dollars, and so this is another way the instructors provide income for their families. So if I can help be a part of that, man, I'm grateful.
Perfect. Thank you for the point, man, Mike. Jake, what do you think, man?
I think for me, what I really think is cool is maybe just with my lifetime of being in sports, there's a certain connection between a good coach and the athlete or whatever. There's like a special bond there of like, at least for me, it's like when somebody invests their time into teaching you something, you almost feel like a sense of like, I want to go out and show like how good my coach is. You know, I want, every time I go into the gym, I want everybody to know that Thiago is my coach, you know, and show them like how well of a job you've done coaching me. So I think there's a really cool connection there between the coach and the athlete. And you know, I think for me it's crazy because, you know, we did those probably 10 or 12 private sessions together. That's how I was introduced to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And so even still now when I'm training, I can hear your voice, you know, I can hear you like, hey, you know, here's this, or, you know, whatever. And I think that's what's cool about it, is it's like there's just a deep connection between the athlete. And I think that's what's really cool about it. And, you know, I'm just really fortunate that I got to do that with, and kind of relationship off that way. And now we kind of have that connection forever in, you know, life and in jiu-jitsu, of like the coach and the athlete, you know. And I think that's a really cool thing.
Well, Jake, you shared with me also that you felt that those privates with Thiago were instrumental in just getting you comfortable, you know, going to your first class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know how I felt in my first class, like even like learning how to shrimp, I felt like, you know, like an idiot, you know, on the mat. And so it kind of breaks down some of those barriers as well. So that at least, you know, when you go out to your first fundamental class, they say, hey, Jake, we're going to shrimp. And you go, oh, I know what that is, because that was one of the first things Thiago taught me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that even if someone's not comfortable going into a community, because it's so new, it's intimidating to walk into a school. If you don't at least have some basic knowledge, it can be either a really good experience if your mindset is of, yeah, I'm going to take this and build upon it, but it also could be a bad experience for someone that might not have that confidence and go, I'm never going back there again because that was the most horrifying experience I've ever gone through. So
Yeah,
that's true. Does it help a lot?
Yeah, the
That
private
help a lot.
is good.
I do. Quick funny story though about my first class. I was feeling really confident with my armbar out of guard, just because we worked at like every day. So my first roll with somebody else, I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna get this guy in this armbar for sure. First 6 minutes, I tried the one move, and the guy, I don't remember who I was rolling with, but these practice guys be like, dude, you tried the same thing every single time. Like, I know what you did. But I thought for sure, because I'm like, oh man, Thiago taught me this armbar, I'm gonna nail this guy with it. Didn't happen.
Oh my God, bro. I remember the class.
Yeah.
Man, is it different when you training the guys the same size as you, or like, or close? You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's yeah, it's different, you know. Yeah, guys, it was an awesome time. I really appreciate you guys spend this time with me, share a little bit about you guys' journey in BJJ right now. So for me, it's like I'm so happy, you know, happy to and like share with another people, like you're gonna how to see the connection we have with each other here. So I think the guys, that's the best way to keep your journey. You need to be connected. You need to be close to your coach, talk, you know, try to take care like BJJ community like it's your family, because that's the point for everybody. I think I like to take it like this. You know, we just opened a new school here, and then we got like 5 students, and then like one of the students, the first guy to sign up, he's like become so like not that close like ours because it's just the beginning, but he texted me. He's like very interested into learning. He's like he spent a lot of time before the class with me and after class asking questions. So that's a good point. So that's the my like I like to let this like example for people who's coming like behind me after me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so happy to have you guys here to share this time with me, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you.
See you guys in the next one. I miss you too.
Charlotte, to see you guys once they open back up.
Yeah, me too, man. I can't wait. So yesterday I was working. All right, and then I have my shirt right here, and then the guys ask you, hey man, when you guys gonna reopen the gym again? I want to check this out. This gym, this look awesome. So yeah, probably like July or and the end of June. So we don't know yet. So yeah, I'm so excited, man. So to have people asking about the gym, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah, it's
got
awesome.
mail the last like I think the last 2 weeks. I got mail to people ask when are we gonna reopen. So I'm excited. You know, there's a new journey for me. You know, there's a new challenge. So I'm excited to make this happen. You know.
Good. Well, we love you, bro. We miss you. I love the Minnesota Vikings hat, by the way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Still
representing.
rocking.
Always, man. Minnesota in my heart, right here forever. Is it kind of like Michael Jordan? He played for Chicago Bulls, but his heart is here in Charlotte. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Have a
All right,
nice
guys.
day, guys. Take care. Love you
Both.
guys.
Love you
Bruce,
guys.
man.
See ya.
See you. So yeah, guys, we just finished my first interview. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and if you guys like, give me a thumbs up here on the YouTube channel. It's my first interview, and if you guys like, leave your comment below here and share with your friend. Okay, guys. Always have a nice day, guys. Have a nice day, guys. Always.